we don't think like men. They are different from us. They see the world differently.
How do you date healthily?
First off, don't sleep with them.
All right. What is something that you think a woman should bring to the table?
Oh, let me give you a list.
To the Something More show. We're in season 2. Can you believe it already? I mean, season 1 was fire, but we're here to bring even more heat, all right? So of course, I'm your girl, Something More. And with me today is a kick off this season. We have 2 ladies who are also blazing the trail in their own individual parts. I'd like to welcome Estrian, Danzell, and Cherisse Haynes. Hi, guys!
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. So, you know, we like to talk. Let's just start off. We like to talk, so we're going to get straight into it, right?
Okay.
So of course I want you all to be honest, be open, be yourselves, because that's what we're about here. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time. So with relation to faith, we're gonna go straight in. We wanna start with that because we wanna create the foundation for how we're gonna carry the conversation, right?
Right.
So what does faith mean to you guys? And everybody can answer.
In a general aspect?
In a general aspect. How does faith translate to you? When you hear faith, what does that mean to you?
Faith to me means belief.
Right.
You know, yeah, that's what it means. What you believe in, what is the foundation of your belief. So,
right.
Yeah, that's what faith
Faith for me means identity.
Okay.
Faith, well, I'm thinking God, right?
Right, of course.
So,
okay.
So faith for me is really inner depths.
Right.
Spirituality, connectivity to who you really are, the life source.
Right. And from observing, of course, and being interactive with you guys, because we know each other outside of this, right? So knowing your lifestyles being submitted to Christ, right? Because then before knowing Christ, your faith would have been probably something else, right? So how would you explain that transition, or that, you know, that saving moment, that transition from that faith to now this faith that is in Christ?
Well, I grew up in church.
Right.
So, you know, I have a strong foundation of my belief, and my belief system was always rooted in Christ.
Right.
And of course, like many other people, I was straight away.
Right.
You know. And
some of us still straight sometimes.
Yeah. So I strayed away. And I remember I had an experience within the last year where it's like my back was against a wall. Like I felt like I lost everything
Right.
that I actually had faith in when I was distracted from where my faith is supposed to be.
Right.
And I called out to God like a last resort. And I remember feeling really bad. I was like, yeah, this is how it does always be, right? You know, when things not going our way,
That's
yeah,
when we want to
here I
reach
come,
out.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
God. And he was like, you know, you really don't understand, because some people don't call out to me. You know, some people don't know me. So it's because of the foundation of your belief. It's because you know that I exist, and because you know that I am the only one. So it's not like a last resort. It's like, you know, you were dependent on yourself. You get kind of casual, and then you realize you can't do anything without him.
Right.
You are not actually in control of anything. So
Right.
that was really comforting for me.
Right.
Because, you know.
And that is the
Yeah.
foundation, yeah. So that was your foundation throughout. But
Yes.
you got to experience different levels to your faith
Yeah.
as you grew.
Yes,
That's good.
definitely.
So if you can tell me.
Me now is it quite the opposite.
Right.
I know. So I would say where I would have believed in God, I didn't have a connection or relationship with him.
Right.
So I just know he's God.
Right.
So you pray. But my transition would have happened when, you know, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And, you know, the disappointments of the world, the disappointments of persons and all these things is like, I just want something new and fresh and real.
Yeah.
So I said, let me give this Jesus thing a try and see where it lead me to.
Right.
And it lead me to everything.
Everything.
Everything that's worth having.
Right.
So that's basically how it happened for me.
Well, that's good. That's good. And I love that. And what I love too about both of your brands is how vocal you are about that. You know, and I think that makes a lot of the difference in your work ethic, right? And what you show online and who you are as people, knowing you all personally, you know. It's very inspiring to myself as well. You know, I consume both of your content and it engages me every time because I'm just like, okay, there are things that I feel like I really aspire when I see both of you all, you know, in your element doing that. So that would lead me to Faith Over Feelings, right, which is a movement that you have founded. So you can tell us a little bit about that.
All right. So Faith Over Feelings really is high value mentorship.
Okay.
So it's really personal development. However, we know the language, the desire is to have a high value man. You want a good husband, you want a good spouse, you want to have a good life. But how are you going to attract the good things that you want in your life? You have to become high value.
Right.
So it's really personal development to take you from one point to another level.
Right.
In different aspects. We're talking about faith, finance, fitness, fashion, friendship, with regards to relationship and emotional intelligence, and family when it comes to being married.
Right.
The challenges of that.
Okay. Well,
are vast and great.
I definitely want to come back to the high value because I know that's something that all of us are very intrigued by, this term high value, right? So we're going to come back to that. But I want to ask, so I know that you, Danzell, well, guys, Danzell is her name, okay? That is her name, so I try. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to say Estrian, but it's not coming off my tongue, so it's Danzell, right? So I know that you are also involved in like the morning prayer that Cherisse and Shadi would have, you know, done. But how do you think that has helped you build your own brand and, you know, get into your groove?
Well, my brand, Faith.Ful.Ness, started because I started a fitness journey 5 years ago.
Right.
And when everything fell apart last year and I called out on God, He introduced me to Cherisse and Shadi in a new way. Now, I knew Cherisse from online.
Right.
And we decided that we would start a prayer 5 o'clock in the morning. And I am just so amazed at the transformation that happened with that commitment, because it really built my faith. Because I didn't want to start a fitness business. I didn't think that was my calling.
Right.
But the more I grounded myself in faith with that community, meeting with Cherisse and Shadi every morning until it started to grow. When Cherisse said it was going public and I was nervous, all of those things helped to build my faith, build my confidence, and give me direction for the next step that made me know that that my business had to be a faith-based business as well.
Right. So. Okay. I love that. And I just want to say online friendships are the best.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah, I've met this entire team from online. You understand what I'm saying? Nice. Danzell and I would have met online.
Yes.
Cherisse and I, you know, we have some history. No, good history, guys. Good history. But I really do love the community because I myself, guys, it's very hard. It's very hard.
Yes.
It's very hard to wake up in the morning. I'm not a morning person and I really struggle, but I try my best. I really try to make the effort to, you know, get up and join. And I remember the first morning that I ever joined in prayer, and I was a mess. I just had some ball. I said, Lord, where's this boy? I get up 5 o'clock in the morning, so crying on the place here for a whole hour. Like, I just was not stopping. I was like, I said, I don't know what's signing up for him, but it has been, it has really been a transformational experience. And I know a lot of people who are also very impacted by the course. I just want to say thank you for sowing that seed, for sowing that seed. So, we're going to go back to the high value a little bit, because I'm very intrigued to hear both perspectives on what high value is perceived at, right? So what would you say defines a high value person? What is the characteristics? What are some of the characteristics of a high value person?
I think for me, a high value person is a person who is aligned with their truest identity. A person who is authentic, they know who they are, they know what their values are, they stand 10 toes down on their square, they are aware of their strengths, they are aware of their weaknesses, they are vulnerable, they are transparent. These kind of things is what constitutes as a high value person, someone who knows who they are and they are aligned with their authentic self.
All right. Okay. All right.
So when it comes to high value, a high value man,
Right.
you have what the world perceive it as,
All right.
and what I believe it is.
Okay.
Or what we believe it is, right?
Okay.
Because it's going to be different.
Okay.
So when it comes to,
Can I ask what would make it different? Is it the fact that of the faith? Is the faith aspect is what is going to make what you believe to be high value different from what the world believes to be high
no, it's
value?
money.
Okay.
I want a money man.
Got you.
And don't understand it could end up in the same mess with money.
With the money.
Right? You're crying in a nice house. But let's not go up there.
You know, you ever hear that?
It's a no. It's a no.
I don't want to cry, period.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So for me, a high value man is really a high spirited man.
okay.
Right? A man he knows his purpose.
All
He
right.
has a deep connection with God.
All right.
He is confident in how to love you because they can change with perspective, because what might be high value to me may not be so for you. So you know how you want to be treated. You know what you need in an
What you
individual.
require, yeah.
So that person could be high value to you. So he has to have the capacity to be able to treat you and love you the way you want to be.
All right.
And yeah, other than that, character, integrity, of course, all the good morals and values and things like that.
So then, because this poses a question in my mind now. I would perceive probably what a high value, just something different than what you might perceive it as. But then, how do I know that that is actually what is best for me? Because, you know, we tend to like very toxic things sometimes, speaking from experience, you know. We tend to, I might think that this is what I need, this is what is high value, and in reality, it's actually destroying me. So, like, what would you say is a good indicator of, you know, like measuring, like how should I measure what high value should be for me, or, you know,
Well,
in the best way?
You would be required to know your own values first. And people end up in toxic situations because they don't know what their values are. So they misalign themselves with persons who also don't know who they are or what their values are.
All right.
And then when they end up in unhappy situations is when they realize, okay, this person is not the person for me.
You try to
and
force the
okay,
point.
what made me choose this person? And then you have to do the self-reflection. So
Right.
the best way to know when somebody is, what is high value for you, is to know who you are. If you know who you are, you pick better.
All right. Okay. All right. I see Cherisse have some few pending thoughts in the back there.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, I can't answer that as is because it's steps to it.
Okay.
And sometimes women want to pick correctly, but they're not even in a position to pick. Like, why are you picking? Why aren't you focusing on you? Why aren't we trying to date Jesus and see what the standard really is like? Let's see how high the bar is supposed to be at so that you know when a man comes at you now, he's really low value because what Jesus showed you is the caliber. But if you don't have that relationship with God, you're just out here taking whatever. You don't know how to be treated well. You don't know what is love. You don't know what is being spoiled. Because
Right.
when God starts to spoil you,
Yeah.
listen.
I'm just giving
Right.
because I know.
So
I
it's
know.
like, what are you looking for? So I don't know how to say, I don't know what is the list and the criteria of how to identify.
Okay.
Because again, for me, I would think it's perspective.
Right.
And really, date Jesus.
Right. Tune into Jesus. I love that. So, how important though is the money part? Because remember, we would have said,
Very important.
Yeah.
the world perceives it as a money man, right? But in reality, we need to have the provider, right?
Well, Abraham was a wealthy man, Father Abraham.
Right.
Yeah, so I just feel like a man is supposed to be a protector, a provider, a priest. So he's supposed to provide under the umbrella financially, emotionally, all these things.
Question. So say, amazing man, man after God's own heart, right down to his clothes, personality, hardworking, ambitious. But, you know, he's still building. You know, he doesn't have everything as yet. do you think that a man like that should be dating still? Should still be dating, have the ability to date? Or should he wait until he is able to fully provide a house, provide a home, provide financially before he says, okay, I want to date?
I should have friends.
Yeah, I think that dating is kind of misconstrued a lot in society. I think that dating is starting friendships, looking to see what you have in common, and it's also a way to reflect and get an idea of who you are. So I don't see why he can't date if he's building.
Okay.
Courting, however, you might want
so there's a difference.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all want to just clarify that for me real quick and probably everybody else who is like
Well, courting
dating, because those are not really terms that we use here, right?
anymore,
We
yeah.
LinkedIn, we wherever, me understand all the other INGs, right? So y'all want to just clarify.
I think courting is dating exclusively and with intention. You set a date, you have a plan, you intend to get married. So you're not engaged yet necessarily, but that's your betrothed.
Okay.
I would say dating, because I don't believe dating should be with one person.
Right.
So I would say
Yes, you
dating
would have
is really
expressed
right. You wanna explore your options, but because you're dating healthily, it's not gonna be a problem. You're not gonna be having any labels and titles attached to your name. So you have to be convicted in that space where you are like, I want to see what's out there and what I like and what I don't like, and I'm weighing all my options. And you're doing it with integrity.
Right.
I would say courting is when you realize, you identify someone that you like and you want to be aligned with, and you are now going through the process of deciding if they are a life partner. So you're taking your time to build a relationship.
How do you date healthily? I mean, how do you date healthily?
First off, don't sleep with them.
All right.
Yeah.
Hands down.
So number C for sure. That's how you keep sex out of the equation, because that does complicate things. It makes you blind to certain things. It makes the heartbreak, it makes the attachment stronger, and it might not be a healthy attachment. And you only realize that,
Right.
So,
right.
yeah.
But outside of, so I of course I agree with that, but outside of sex, right? What are some of the boundaries? Because like, okay, you might have sex, but I in your house every day. You know what I'm saying? Alignment with you all the time. I'm talking to you right through. Is that viewed as healthy? I mean, I'm getting to know the person, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting to know the person, but I'm probably doing it too aggressively. We're probably too aggressively dating, or what other attributes to dating would be constituted as healthy?
Staying focused on your purpose.
I was just about to say, you have to have an intention and an outcome in mind. So if you know that your intention is not to have sex with this person, then I would say keep dates out of people's homes. Like if you're not in an exclusive relationship, like why are you going to somebody's home necessarily to, So I would say, have boundaries and have intentions, have an objective.
I'm just laughing. Sorry, I want you to answer that as well. I'm just laughing because
You're being realistic.
most times, but outside of that, most times fellas just be like, "Girl, come on, let me lime now. You can't do my the gallery."
That's his standard.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the Netflix and chill vibes. And then when you want to be taken somewhere, is a problem.
Yeah.
So I think that you have to know what it is you want. It's like, I'm not going to nobody home, just like that.
Right.
This is friendship, and I'm getting to know you. So.
I would say, dating healthily, I would say I need to know where your mind is at for the future. I want to know if it is the things that I have attached to me can be a benefit or an asset to you in the long run. I want to know what we are building, because I'm supposed to be partnered with someone who's building something so that I can assist. So therefore, I need to get into your head. I need to know what you like, what you don't like. I need to know if it is you're compatible with who I am. So besides the not sleeping with them part, you see, because the reason why we both jump on don't sleep with them, because you're not going to see all those things.
All things.
Because
if
all
it's going to blur your vision. You're in love.
You're drunk in
You're in
love.
love. Yeah, you're in love.
And you're not going to really know the person like that. So all you're doing is eating and sleeping. Let's go for something to eat, and when you finish, what you're going to do? Let's sleep together.
Yeah, and a lot of people too, they don't ask hard questions. They don't have uncomfortable conversations.
Right.
In healthy dating, you have to have uncomfortable conversations.
sure.
You have to know that this person is willing to be vulnerable, because that you have to know that they can communicate, that they can express themselves assertively and properly and stuff, because then things will be hidden and then they will only be exposed when you commit to them, and they might have been hiding stuff,
Right.
and you miss the red flags
Yeah.
because they weren't transparent. So
I like that.
And you need time. Let me add
Right.
to that. You need a
Yeah.
little time with the person so
Yeah.
that you can see them at their lowest. You want to see them at their highest. You want to see them when they're sad. You want to see them when they're angry. So when you get to see everything, can make an assessment.
Right. So we make
So
too many
that's-
premature decisions.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes.
So, but do you think that we have unrealistic expectations sometimes when it comes to dating?
All the time.
yes, for sure.
Okay, can y'all give me an example of what y'all think is an unrealistic expectation?
The type of programs there on television, it gives you exposure in a very unrealistic way. And social media especially, people using that as benchmarks.
Like too many like fairy tales kind of thing?
Yes, because people only post their highlights. They only post their high moments and their
Right.
nice moments. And you are now trying to compare your life to their highest points.
Right.
And then see what's wrong. So you are yearning for something that probably don't even really exist. And you're yearning for something that you're probably not even capable of receiving. Because you yourself not in a position to receive it yet, because you're not working on yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the type of media, music, social media, and content that it have on the whole widespread in this day and age sets you up to have unrealistic expectations.
Really?
I think unrealistic expectations in general are like, having this list, boxing people in, making it seem like, a person can't be nuanced or dynamic. So he has to be making this amount of money, and he has to be doing this kind of job, and he has to take me on trips, and he has, those kind of things is really from not focusing. It's from focusing on things outside of yourself. When you ask yourself, are you making 6 figures? Are you able to even budget for the kind of money that you're saying that your partner's supposed to be making,
So
can
I
you
have
do
a
those things?
question.
Yeah.
So if we're saying that the men, though, they are supposed to provide, then why should I want to match your energy in that regard, in that financial regard?
You're not supposed to.
No, nobody's saying that you're supposed to match it.
Okay.
But can you
Handle it.
manage it? Nobody's
That's
saying,
good.
nobody's saying you're supposed to match it, but can
Because
you even
then, when you're not accustomed having 5,000 and all you want to do is go and buy shoes and...
Amazon, Shein.
I mean, that's like the
Cherisse is like, no, you have to buy shoes. Hold on.
No, right? I'm thinking behind that a bit.
Okay.
Because when we might say the surface is just shoes, but do you know what real sacrifice is? You want this caliber of man. Do you know what it's like to miss meals for a period of time because of something that you're planning and building and waiting and hoping for? And you have to be the support system. You have to know time and place, seasons and cycles. Like you need to know.
Right.
It's not just about, well, he have money and I don't know how to
always
manage it, so
high.
I'm splurging. It's not going to always be a splurge. It's going to be a lot of inside work first before you can enjoy the glamour. And people just want you come with everything, not
Instant
realizing they're
gratification.
missing people. They are missing people who have the potential to be the high income earners because they can't identify the qualities that make you become a high earner. So when you have a list of saying, I want this person to have X amount of money, the truth is, that's okay to have that list. But are you going to contribute to that? Are you going to even see it when it's
Help
in
him
front
build
of
and
you?
get to that.
Because the people that you're looking at, they might be in their season 10. But you meeting somebody in season 5 who's on their way to season 10. And you just daft.
Right.
So you don't even recognize that.
Right.
So
Oh, that's good. I love that, guys. I love that. So, okay. In terms of attractiveness, now, I don't know if you all would have seen a clip that's currently circulating on social media with a guy who said he was with a real, quote-unquote, ugly girl, but she was giving him everything that he needed and stuff like that. But
I didn't see that.
It didn't, right. So basically, that's the essence of the clip, right?
Wow.
But I mean, we generally don't date people that we find unattractive. right?
He was saying that he was dating an unattractive, somewhat unattractive girl, but he enjoyed the experience and they did not make it. But he's reflecting and realizing that she was quite awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it's like, so my question really is, how important is attractiveness or what in a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you meet this person, but all these amazing qualities, they have everything, but at first glance, it wouldn't be like, oh my God, man of my dreams or woman of my dreams, you know? How do you navigate that? Because as you said, you could miss something because you're being real superficial or daft in the moment and not allowing the person a
I
chance,
think
you know?
on a scale of 1 to 10, I need to be attracted to my mom, right? Like, I
it's
need
a 10 for you.
I need to be attracted to my man. That is a priority. I need to be able, I need to be attracted to him because if I intend to get married and we go all the way.
So, but do you believe
What is
that
the question itself?
how important is
To who?
to whoever is doing the dating?
Or to the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So what was I gonna ask? My train of thought.
Sorry.
The last thing you said. No, that's fine. Okay, so we'll get back to that. But yeah, so if you want to answer.
What is attractiveness? Like I'm asking you to understand, so I know what to
Yeah.
answer.
Well, for me,
Pretty, natural beauty, like what is it? What do you mean?
I guess we're talking about looks, yeah, physical looks.
Yes.
Right.
Physical looks.
So I again, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right?
Right.
So I think everybody has a canvas.
Right.
Like a clean slate.
Right.
It's what you do with it.
Right.
So therefore, it is highly important, not even for any man, for your brand, for your customers, for your career, your future, who you are. You need to be well put together and well packaged for time and place, whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
You need to, because then again, a sense of value. If you value yourself, you'll want to put effort in yourself. If you value what you're doing, you'll want to show up in that way for that. And that will naturally attract the kind of man that you, because he'll see you operating in your greatness on your own. But for the opposite sex, it's like a nice advertisement and a flyer. Like, look at me. And this is why it's so important to be a lot deeper than just look at me. It's an advertisement to come and see my awesomeness and greatness
on the
inside.
Right.
But some people lean too much on the physical
Only.
and relying on that.
Right. And there's nothing inside.
Nothing. And then they wonder why, and they want to bash man, and he's a dog. No. Maybe you just really wasn't cutting it, and he saw it through, and after a while it gets old.
Yeah.
The prettiness gets old.
Yeah, it does well.
It gets old.
Yeah, but even so, I think that, just like you said, it's a blank canvas for everybody. But I know attractiveness is a priority. I would say, though, the last person that I was in a relationship with, I wasn't immediately attracted.
So that is what I was going to ask you. Do you think attraction can grow? Because you can look at a person and be like this.
Because I looked at him
my husband.
and I found that he was, I mean, I could see in his physical appearance, he wasn't ugly.
Right.
He was an attractive person, but I just wasn't attracted to him.
And I love that.
Yeah,
and I like for people to know that somebody could be attractive and you could be not attracted to them.
Right.
You know?
That was my case.
Yeah, so
Right.
he was attractive. I wasn't attracted to him until we started speaking and I saw his values. That it's until we started having conversations and I realized we had things in common. He had a growth mindset. He was emotionally intelligent. Those sorts of things is what made it go from 0 to 100, from him being an attractive person to me being attracted to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I was not attracted to my husband initially either.
Really?
No. But because I had my list mentally.
I have my list too.
And because I had my list, it was very easy for me to identify the type of man that he was, and I realized he feeling himself a lot so clearly. Other people think he's really attractive, and woman wants what other woman wants.
Correct.
Nobody wants what nobody wants.
Correct.
Right? So I was like sizing him up a bit, but I was not actually attracted. I was quite annoyed, and I think I did the same for him. He was like, "Who's this girl who feels she's in?"
Okay. So, well, only much energy there. So lastly on this topic of relationships, men, women dating, what is something that you think women need to understand about men?
Men are not stupid,
Okay.
and they need love too.
Okay.
It's not just about us. It's not just about what you want, I want to receive. What are you willing to offer? And I know they say like, this table and this table, I am the table. No, 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 no. You're not the table. What do you bring to the table? It's just what you think you need to bring to the table is not what you need to bring to it.
So what is something that you think a woman should bring to the table?
Oh, let me give you a list. You have to be able to know how to speak to a man. You have to be able to be supportive. You have to know how to tap into your feminine energy. You have to be delicate. You have to be knowing when to be assertive and when to fall back. You need to show respect. You need to know, you need to have skills. You need to have homemaking skills. You can't just want to eat takeout all the time. Like, you need to be able to manage. You have to have financial skills because you want the man to produce more, but you have the capacity to help him produce more. It's a long list, but we keep thinking that it is degrees and it is money and it is, I can do this by myself kind of thing. I'm bringing that to the table. No, and it's not your looks either. Looks is really the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Because a man will go with a very unattractive looking woman because he has peace.
Yeah.
And that's unattractive looking to
To
us. Personally,
Maybe not
but
to him.
what is important to him.
Right.
I think that women need to know that we don't think like men. They are different from us. They see the world differently. They were designed differently. And in a lot of conversations now, I find a lot of women think that they know how all men think and what all men want, and they tend to broad brush, and it gives them a bad outlook on the perspective of actually being aligned with a right partner. But I think it's important to know that men are different. You have to be divine in who you are. You have to find who you are. When you are divinely who you are as a woman, it would become very easy to find a divine man as well. Yeah, to attract a divine man. You don't have to find him, right? You don't have to chase, because the thing about it is a man can definitely sense when a woman is chasing. And even if he picks you at that point in time, sometime later on down the road, he's going to reflect, did I pick this? Or did this pick me? And they are natural, instinctive chasers.
Yeah.
When it is they come down, when it comes down
They
to
get it
brass
too
tacks and they
easy,
realize, wait a minute, they think that they settle, and then they start to question everything after that. So, a lot of women they just do things off kilter, and then they end up in relationships that are off kilter. Just be divinely and authentically who you are, and the right man will find
develop who you are.
Yeah, develop who you are, and the right man
love
will
that.
find you.
That's good.
And that's why I say men not stupid, because people think they can fake it to attract a type, and they'll see right through you.
Correct.
And still use it and pretend
and then after
it was never you.
Yeah, but then also we get upset, right? Because it's like, you take advantage of me or whatever, but
You put
we
yourself
didn't-
there.
we
Yes,
did not
exactly. It's really
have
time
the
for
foresight.
everybody to start taking accountability for how they end up in situationships that they know that they didn't want to be in the first place.
Yeah. The big S word. All right. So, I'm pivoting a little bit. This would tie into relationships as well, but fitness, because we are both aware. I guess everybody in the room maybe, but I am aware that you both are very into fitness. And you speak a lot. I know Cherisse speaks a lot about fitness in relationships as well, right? So how important is fitness in a relationship for you both? Like, is that on a list, or is that on your list as in my man has to work out or be physically active, or be training his body and stuff like that? No?
You just have to look like he is.
Well, for me,
However,
for me, For me, fitness is a priority. I am not saying that I need like Hall
Right.
or Bruce Banner situation, but I want somebody who is active. I want a gym bae that I could go. I
she
mean,
want a
I
gym
always
bae.
in the gym, so you know,
Gym baes out there.
I want somebody who would go to the gym with me on occasion.
Yeah.
That would keep me pumped.
Help you
to
on the
say,
squat
"Hey,
rack."
yes,
Right,
push,"
right.
to spot me, you know, that kind of thing, and you know, we could have a gym date, that kind of thing.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
want anybody
And-
floppy.
right.
Now, I mean, the
Whoa.
funny thing about it is, 6 years ago, that would not have mattered to me. But my priorities have since changed.
right.
And I am the
level up.
auntie on myself, so I expect you to make yourself a priority and to understand that I mean, I just
It just is what it is.
I looking good, so you know I
You
want
want
you
to look good too, and this is also part of your brand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be posting you in my pictures.
Exactly.
You understand? So you can't be looking bust up. And then Cherisse, on the other hand, here having gym dates, and she's like, "Oh, people really want that." Like,
Well, why? Because I'm like, I don't want to train with my husband.
Really?
Yes, I'm actually the opposite. Because I don't train with him at all in terms of it's never a goal. Not a goal because I would not take my training seriously. He's clowning me. We playing the fool.
Yeah.
We wasting time in the gym.
It's not every day. It's not like he's here fitness.
Yeah.
So even if I go in the gym, it was not to train. I literally go in the gym with in his time to show out a little bit. Like, look what I look like.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a wife. Bye now. That's it. I'm not actually really training.
It's a micromanage.
No, I'm just going to because he needs it. Men need that, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
Men want
Okay.
their friends to see who's my other half. What
And then
she's a
looking
representation
good.
of me. So, and I know what I look like. So I'm just going there to be a trooper, but I need to train. I
Right.
need it because again, marriage. I need my time.
Yeah.
I need some alone time. I need to de-stress. I need to talk to God. I need to meditate on something.
Other than you.
Yes,
Yeah.
right? So
she when she goes to the gym, she's in her own zone. She
Right,
is
okay.
I don't
headphones in. She is learning, listening to a
Yes, a
podcast,
message,
listening
a
to a message,
sermon.
listening to a sermon. I am like that too, right? So when I say I want somebody to go to the gym with me, I don't mean that you're gonna be, you know. I
want
don't
a
want to be.
serious partner.
I don't want to be enmeshed with anybody that I can't have my alone time.
Time.
Because gym time is actually sacred for me too. It's something that I'm very passionate about. So, you know, on a light day, you know, that kind of thing, he going to the gym on his own, me going on my own and thing like that. Yeah. But still, you know, I want a gym day.
and gym on the like fitness on the whole is a very mental thing.
Yeah.
And
So you
no
have to be focused.
matter where we reach, no matter how high we think we are always progressing, we're always growing.
Right.
And you see, fitness is a form of therapy to combat some of the traumas that we would have gone through as children. And I don't want anyone in my space to kind of
Distract you from that.
yes, because I need it.
Yeah, got you.
You know, I'm always gonna need it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so innate because it was always a part of me because of the things I would have gone through. I didn't even realize why I like to train so much. It's because I needed it
Yeah, right. It's an
desperately.
outlet for you.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like fitness is very important, but I don't necessarily need a partner for that. But
Okay.
he needs to do that on his own. And whatever you do
Yeah.
to look like you're my partner,
Yeah.
fine.
Whatever you do to look like-
If you naturally have it forever, no problem.
Nobody
Whatever
naturally
you
has
do
it
to
forever.
look like Anna doesn't look like my partner. That's so funny. That is so funny to me. We should put that on a t-shirt. I love that. So finally, I'd like to ask, what is one thing you can tell a woman specifically who is in her fitness journey right now and is struggling or may want to start a fitness journey but is afraid, doesn't have the support, you know, the million things. I mean, I take years and I was only training about a year and some months now, you know, so I know there's a lot of conflicting thoughts in my head about fitness and what it means and it's so scary. And I remember the first day in the gym, I cried because I was like, what did I get myself into? Like, you know,
That is funny.
Yeah, so what is something that you could tell someone who is probably in that situation right now?
Find your why. Cling to your why.
Tell them, find your why.
Find your why. Cling to it and enjoy the process more than the outcome. Savor the moment. Make it fun. Because too many times we associate fitness with pain and pressure.
Right.
It can be quite enjoyable. And don't be too hard and fast on what you're trying to achieve. So you know why you're doing it. You know why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Focus on the why and enjoy the process. That's all I will say, because there's so much you can say about this.
Got you.
Definitely focus on the why. For me, I wanted to look best, right? So that was my why.
That was your why.
And because that was my why, I went out of my way to get information, to get the knowledge that I needed to focus on to make that why a reality. So my why was different. Some people want to lose weight. That wasn't my why. I wanted curves. So I went to find the information, how to eat, how to train, so that my transformation was significant. Even though I didn't lose a lot of weight, you could see the change in my body. So your why, your foundation is very important. When you know why, you know how to search for the information to accomplish the goal that you have. So it's definitely down to the why.
Great, I love that. Well, ladies, thank you so much. Before we end, I just want you to introduce yourself and give a brief overview of your brand and what you do, and if you offer services and where they can find you. Yeah? So Cherisse, we can start with you.
Sure. So I'm Cherisse Haynes, known for many things, really and truly passionate about personal development, but I realized that relationship coaching is my thing right now, especially in this season where we want what we want and don't necessarily know how to achieve what we want. And I believe I'm anointed for that, right? So you can find me on Instagram. I do have programs. Not to mention, I have to make mention of Faith Over Feelings. And Faith Over Feelings is the mentorship program where we have many mentors and coaches coming together to give you what you need to help you become the best version of yourself, so that you can attract the highest type of high value man that you want to have in your life, because it will affect the rest of your life. Find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, Google me, Cherisse Haynes.
All right.
My name is Estrian Danzell, and I'm a mindset and body recomposition coach. The name of my business is Faith.Ful.Ness, and I have a passion for fitness, as you can probably tell, as well as emotional intelligence. And my highest priority in life is to have a strong and secure relationship with God. So that is what my coaching program is based on. You can find me at Instagram at Estrian Danzell, or at gardenofE.dam.
Okay guys, so we learned a lot today, and I just want to thank Danzell and Cherisse for being here. And when you think you know, there's always something more. So next week now, catch us next week for episode 2. Bye-bye.